pleasure to be here. My name is Camelia Lawrence. I am a surgeon. My practice is limited 100% to the management of men and women with breast diseases, both benign and malignant. I currently am employed by Hartford Healthcare, where I serve as the director for breast surgery in the central region. Prior to Hartford Healthcare, I was working as a breast surgeon only. I'm most impactful when I'm in the operating room. It is my calling, that's where I'm most comfortable. But I took on this new role because it gave me a seat at the decision-making table as well, where I can impact the decisions that are being made regarding the management of the breast patient. Particularly, my passion is really reaching out to women who are not yet impacted by the disease. It's very hard these days not to know somebody in your circle, whether it's a family friend or a family member or a friend of a friend who's been impacted by breast cancer. And the truth of the matter is, as physicians, as scientists, we don't know everything. And we don't know exactly what causes breast cancer, the majority of the breast cancer that we see. So until we find a cure, which is our ultimate goal, our best ammunition is early detection. To find a cancer when it's small, too small to be felt, and offers the best possible chance for a cure. And the current modality that we have available to do so is screening mammography. I recently celebrated my 40th birthday, and I had it televised. If my face looks familiar, I'm that lady on it. And the reason I did it wasn't necessary for publicity, but I wanted to encourage other women to demystify the entire approach to the screening mammography, because there's so many myths and stories about it. I see a lot of women who come in who I wish I had met earlier. They've noticed a change in the breast, or they've felt a lump. But as women, we're usually in a caregiving role. We're usually taking care of others, right? Whether it's our kids or spouse, an elderly parent, or a friend that's going through a difficult time. So we don't prioritize ourselves. So what I've been doing, which is something that's very near and dear to me, is really grassroots efforts, trying to find portals or ways of getting out into the community in settings such as this to talk to women about the importance of screening. As it pertains to women of color in particular, we are twice as likely to die from the disease, stage for stage. And there's a host of factors that are contributing to it, but some of it is the lack of screening and late stage of presentation. So I'm just here as an ambassador, as an advocate, to get the word out, to empower women and to educate them regarding the importance of screening, mammography, early detection, and that if you have a family history of breast cancer, your risk is substantially higher than the average American woman, and that your screening time interval may start even much early as age 25. I just took a young lady to the operating room 2 weeks ago. She's only age 28 with breast cancer. So it's no longer a disease of more mature women. My mom said I can't say older women. More mature women, but we're seeing younger women who are impacted by the disease. And for us in Connecticut, we have one of the highest incidents of breast cancer nationwide. And nobody's really talking about it, and nobody really knows why.
Thank you.
Good morning. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to Trita. This is such an opportunity. I appreciate you allowing me to be a part of this. My name is C. Denise Davis, and some of you all know my face. And I am a personal trainer. I got into this field, truly was not what I expected. I have a 14-year-old at the time I started, she was 4. My job was to raise her. But in doing that, I was chasing and realized I was and all I wanted to do was to just get healthy enough to keep up with her. Several years later, I am a 5-time pro, 2 organizations. I'm a bodybuilder, and I have 4 different titles in those areas. The significance of that, I hope for you all, is that I didn't do that until I was 50.
Wow.
And I say that proudly because I always get, I got too old, or it's too, no.
Never too old.
No. I didn't start becoming an athlete saved by the truest sense of the word until I was 50 years old. And because of that, I found, thank you, I also found my mission. And in that competition, I was more excited about the one behind the stage than on the stage with me. Because so often what we see are those men and women that are on the magazine covers, that everything is just cut and everything is perfect in the body and the muscles are popping. What I found was there were so many women that were behind the stage that chose that avenue as a declaration for themselves because they were becoming healthier. And they touched my heart. So that's why I became a personal trainer, because as I learned about us, we are the cornerstones of so many organizations, our churches, our homes, our schools, and so often, as already been mentioned, we give and we give and we give, that we don't pour back into ourselves and we don't attend to ourselves. And in order to continue to give, you have to have something to give. So, two things happened. I became a personal trainer, and a lot of people know the man who helped me get on stage, and he was a very stern person, and so I'm like, I'm going to be a personal trainer, and everybody's like, no, I can't train him because you'll be like him. It's like, I'm not going to kill you. I love what I do, and I have fun with what I do, and I encourage women to become physically, mentally, and spiritually stronger, push and pull weights, push and pull their bodies, stretch, tone, lose that 10 plus pounds that yes, you can lose, and or be the best that you can be at the point where you are. And I'm giving that to you because a lot of times you see those magazines again, and we want to have those hips and those legs and that thigh and that breast and arms. I want you to be the best that you possibly can be and the strongest you can be where you are today, and more will come. I also started a running group that actually was a walking group. I started with 3 women approximately 5 years ago. And I started because of just what I said, because nobody wanted to train with me because they thought I was going to kill them. But I knew that if I said that all you have to do is get up and walk at your own pace, and all I ask you to do is do 3 miles. If you need to stop in between that, stop, catch your breath, and just walk. Just walk. The other rule was that you could not say anything negative about yourself, and you could not say anything negative about the women or men that were joining you. You can encourage them, you can cheer for one another, or sometimes we just need to be silent. That 3 grew into 22 plus men and women. We every year go down to a particular race in Seymour, Connecticut that supports breast cancer. And it is one of the most monumental things that I get to be a part of, because all of a sudden, the idea of being in a registered race and crossing the finish line. And one of my clients said something while she was preparing for it. She is a faithful woman, and she's a believer in Christ, and she said, here's the thing, because so many things were happening with us as we're going on that journey. That ranged from cars not working to somebody tore an ankle, just a lot of things. But she said, here's the crux to that, is that as soon as we crossed the finish line, there was nothing that would stop us. So I'm here today at Trees of Invitation, not just as a personal trainer, but I am a cheerleader and I'm an encourager. I want you to find your finish line. I want you to find something that's going to motivate you to get up and strengthen your bodies. If it's walking, if it's weight training, if it's bands. Right now, there's everything out there for you all to do. The other thing I want to ask you to do is be patient with yourselves. Celebrate the non-scale victories. I got excited going to church one day, and one of my clients was calling and laughing and crying at the same time because she had to sing. She couldn't find any clothes that fit her. Her inches, her body had gotten smaller. And that's just the joy. So I want you to celebrate the non-scale victories. When when you sit in that seat, then all of a sudden you can look down and see the size of the seat now? Or, you know, that dress that you have in your closet that's way pushed back in the back because you knew that I'm not gonna get it, I'm gonna hang on to it. Pull it out, put it in front, and celebrate the anticipation of getting into that dress or those pants. Celebrate, watch this, the rings going around your finger. The smiles that you give yourself when you go past the mirror because the skin is shinier, or because, you know, you got that extra, watch this, swing to your step because your balance isn't shaky anymore. Those are the non-scale victories that we as women need to allow ourselves to have because we're so stuck with looking at the numbers on the scale. And the other thing I want you to do is just pick something you love to do. Oh my goodness, something that you love to do that's gonna allow you to move. If it's dancing, if it's walking, jogging, hanging out with your girlfriends at the mall, going up and down a couple extra times. Move. Move. Just move.